Howdy Goons, the best way to save money after making yourself financially destitute by buying a Switch 2 is to check out the eShop's free-to-play offerings. It's a bit hard to find these games if you don't know the names of them in advance, as there isn't a free-to-play category in the eShop. You instead have to go to search, scroll all the way to the bottom, to filtered search, then set the price to free. Now you have a list that is 1,100 free DLC and 87 free-to-play games. Good luck finding the games. In most standard online storefronts, you could click an option to show only the games. Not Nintendo, we're going full evil mode today. So instead, we had to go online and Google them. Nintendo's such a great company. I love that to access half of my Switch Online features, I have to download the smartphone app, and to get access to more sorting options, I have to use the website on my PC because there isn't a browser app on the Switch, and because there isn't basic sorting functions on the Switch. Once on the website, you can then sort by free to start, which is Nintendo's term for free-to-play games. But that doesn't show all of the games. So once again, you have to organize by price, and wade through the DLC, unless you click genres. Turns out that the DLC don't have genres, so now you have to click through every genre to see what's up. With this review series, I'm going to not only find all of the free games for you, but tell you that if you should even bother with them. Let's start with, we have Monster Hunter at home, Super Kirby Clash. In Super Kirby Clash, you play Kirby in a variety of boss battles. It's kind of like Monster Hunter, but with a leveling system and RPG stats like attack, defense, recovery, and Team Meteor. You'll team up with 3 AI, or online with randoms or friends in a lobby system to fight a large variety of Kirby boss fights. It's an incredibly simple game with seemingly shallow combat, with most classes being 1 or 2 buttons to play. Jump with A, attack with B, and that has different combos depending on context, like holding, tapping, directional inputs, or doing it while sprinting. It only appears to be shallow, as when you play longer and you try other classes, you start to see a lot more depth in the controls. At first, it's very easy to grind your way to overpowering the bosses, but at the end game, where bosses are closer to your level, you might need a balanced team of players, and players who fully understand their full range of moves. All of the stages are arena boss fights on a 2D plane, and when you defeat them, you'll receive rewards like gem apples and crystals. The crystals are based on elements, and along with gem apples, are used to unlock equipment for your class of choice. Gem apples are actually the primary currency and will be used for every possible thing in the game. The gameplay loop is simple. Go on a quest, pick a class, spend vigor, which is essentially your energy, and it comes back slowly over time. Then fight the boss, get rewards, upgrade equipment, and repeat. The energy system seems generous early on, since you'll level up faster than you can consume the whole bar, but if you've ever played any mobile game ever, you know that eventually you'll only be able to play for about 30 minutes before having to wait another 8 to 24 hours to regenerate enough energy to go again. The classes are Sword Hero, Hammer Lord, Dr. Healmore, and Bee Mage. Sword Hero is based on the ability Kirby gets in the core series by laying down some suckage on a sword-wielding enemy. It's a seemingly basic class, but all of the classes are very well defined. Sword Hero is the most mobile, but also the best defensively. Sword gets a fast combo, a dashing pierce strike, aerial combos, and charged spin slashes. But their defining ability is their guard. When guarding, you create a bubble shield that protects teammates in the area. When applied correctly, this can not only protect the team, but basically give you 10 seconds of free uninterrupted damage to the boss. Hammer Lord is based on the hammer ability from the core series. This class is incredibly slow and probably requires the most skill next to the Doctor. You have a basic one-hit attack, a spinning dash attack, a spinning aerial, but the most important is their charge strike. It can be charged to 3 stages and it gets off a lot of damage at once. For my Beam Mage, the charged ability did only 1,500 damage, but with charged hammer strikes, they were hitting about 5,000 damage for me. That was almost as much as the Team Meteor attack, the group ult that everybody does. The problem is that you're incredibly vulnerable when doing this, as you can't move quickly and it's very short range. Ideally, your sword buddy will see you charge and come over to protect you. Other than that, slow is an understatement. Hammer Lord can't fly over enemies, so you're left with guard dodges. You hold guard and then press a direction. The trade-off for damage makes this a very fun class with very high highs, and if you're fighting something that's really fast, really low lows. Dr. Healmore is kind of hard mode. Your basic attack throws crystals, but you can charge it to drop a healing field. But Healmore can also hold down an attack, and Healmore will make one of 4 potions. A fire potion that blasts fire, ice potion that releases an ice wave, lightning potion that bounces lightning balls all around, and a big heal that recovers Healmore's health by a third. The items produced through this attack are random, so you have only like a 1/4 chance of getting the big heal that you need. But like food items, this heal can be passed by kissies. If you let go too soon though, you get a failure explosion. You can also store these potions, but Healmore has a lot of moves. Up and B does a barrier around Healmore, dash and B in midair does a spinning attack, dash and hold B in midair throws out a bunch of jewels in front of him, and dashing strikes smacks with a book. Finally, Healmore can revive teammates without expending their own health. It's not so much that Healmore is hard, it's just that he's one of those characters that requires a good understanding of his kit. You can't just blindly play him and do well. Last of all, B Mage. Mashing B does a little star whip. Charging builds up a ball of energy. Depending on the charge level is how much damage it does, but it also builds up a time meter on the boss. Once the meter is full, the enemy is put into a slowed state. This opens up a huge opportunity for Hammerlords to lay the smackdown. Dash and attack is similar to the whip strike, and dash attack midair blasts energy downwards. This is useful for landing some damage as you reposition. As you can probably guess, B-Mage is all about that time stop, so you should make some distance and blast away. Surprisingly, these classes are all very well defined, and it's easy to miss that in the early hours of the game, since you can get by just by mashing. There isn't much customization in classes. Every Hammerlord is going to play the same. It takes ages to unlock new gear, and the level cap is pretty high. I've seen players as high as 80, but I think it goes higher than that. But I think most people will find themselves getting bored way before you unlock rank 4 weapons. To get new weapons, you need to finish story quests, which is weird because of the emphasis of co-op gameplay. Story quests are only single player. I thought for sure it would have been tied to challenges or levels so that you can get progress no matter how you play, but nope, story only. The weapons do have some differences from what I've seen. The first 3 ranks are straightforward stat increases, like weapons increase damage, armor increases stamina, but when you get to higher ranks, you find that they increase recovery, team meteor, or revival speed, charge speed, and material gains. Attack is your damage caused by attacking, stamina is your health, recovery is health gained from eating food items, and from recovery abilities like Dr. Healmore's heal thing. Team meteor affects the damage of the team meteor attack. Team Meteor is an attack that requires all team members to grab special crests dropped by the boss. Once you do so, you have a timing-based minigame. Based on the performance is the damage. Revival speed is how fast you revive down teammates. Charge speed speeds up how long it takes for you to do charge attacks like the B-Mage's Ball, Sword Hero's Spin Slash, Hammerlord's Big Strike, and Healmore's Heal Field. So it's useful on everyone. Then material gain is how much crystals you get from defeating bosses. The bosses are very simple. You don't have to worry about raid mechanics, but they can be quite challenging and chaotic once you get to the 10+ Vigor bosses. Sword Heroes are super clutch because you can entirely ignore dodging. Every boss does telegraphed attacks, and you either guard, dodge, or jump over them. There are some bosses that will attack by weaving between the foreground and the background, and those are avoided similarly. You can just move out of the way, dodge them, or you can block them. But as you figured out, the best class is Hammerlord with increased charge speed, if you can manage to land those important charge strikes. The most practical class, though, will be Sword Hero, as you can control the guard and you have much more mobility and survivability, and you can help ensure your team gets their moves off. Sword Hero is almost as much about support as Healmore is. With your AI team, don't bother adding a B-Mage to your team unless you set the whole team as them, as it takes them way too long to build the meter alone. I'd recommend a team of all swords if you're playing alone because the AI is very good about blocking. There are additional items in the form of stickers, which are just emotes for online. These are Gem Apple Trap. We'll get into Gem Apple soon, that's monetization. I save that for last usually. Well, I plan to save that for last. There's no usually, this is the first one. Then there are support items, and this is an easy to ignore system. You have potions that can be used to increase your stamina, and attack for the boss fight, which is also a trap. EXP orbs, which can be bought to double XP earned for 30 minutes, also a trap. 30 minutes is way more than you have stamina for, and they're pricey. Mini EXP orbs are similar and give 1.5 times XP for 10 minutes, which makes more sense for the amount of time you'll actually be able to play before running out of energy. Then the rest of the items are super useful. These are called codexes. Codexes are permanent stat boosts to a variety of aspects. You have 4 codexes for fragment boosts. You buy these and you don't have to farm for materials as much. At first I recommend not getting fire or water, as these are very common. Light is a little harder, but rare are of course rare. Vigor Codex increases the rate at which energy restores. If you want to play for more than 20 minutes every 8 hours, then get these. Adventurer Codex gives you more rewards for using the Adventurer's Bell. This is a daily bell that when rung recruits AI that uses players' builds that they pull from online. Star Quest Codex improves star chest rewards for star quests. Star quests are a special limited time bonus that happens at random. You basically get an additional chance at rewards. Essentially get instant lobbies when playing online, because people want the rewards. Then you have codexes for each class that boost their stamina. These can be useful, but considering they're per class and you'll be swapping classes for challenges, this could also be seen as a trap. Even swapping classes a lot can be a gem apple trap, as you're buying a lot more equipment. I'd suggest sticking with one class as long as you can, but buying all of these items contribute to challenges in some way. So if you actually want to 100% of the game, just letting you know, you're going to need to buy everything. Early on gem apples, the cash and earned currency, is slow to earn and is used to buy everything. Every possible thing in the game is bought with gem apples. The microtransactions aren't super scummy to start, but being that you need gem apples to even unlock new boss fights in story mode, and they're nickel and diming you for every little thing, it can be a little challenging to keep gem apples topped off. I'm sure you'll eventually get to a point where you're spending more than you're earning, which is why you see many level 40 plus players online revisiting fights that have long since been too easy for them, so that they can get more apples from finishing challenges. When I say that gem apples are used for everything, it's not an exaggeration. Want to buy a new weapon? Crystals and gem apples, please. New armor? Gem apples and crystals, please. Support items to buff defense, damage, EXP earned, or permanent upgrades? Gem apples. Stickers for communicating online? Gem apples. Upgrade your tree so you get bonus free gem apples that are worth more? Buy gem apples. Recruit more random teammates for online mode? Wait 24 hours, or pay for gem apples. The only good thing about this system is, of course, that they're earned for free, but in dialogue with NPCs, they constantly ask you to buy gem apples if you want more rewards. Like, they are constantly begging me to spend 50 cents to get these gem apples. Like, dog, it's just 50 cents. And they do this because they know that, like, once they crack the seal on that, like, once they get you just to spend just that 50 cents, it's like, oh, it's just 50 cents. And then later on, it's just a couple bucks. It's just a few bucks. Well, I'm playing this, and I could have been playing a $60 game, so I may as well spend $60 on it. Yeah, I did this same thing with Warframe, and I've spent a few thousand. Not joking. There's a reason why I don't play Warframe anymore, even though it's one of my favorite games, because I can't keep myself from spending money on it. The gem apples are very cheap to buy, though, so that's nice. It's 1 penny for 1 gem apple, but if you think of it that way, you're paying 10 cents to access a boss fight, or 10 cents for an item to get 2 cents back. The game is never actually hard enough to warrant the purchase, though. Remember those challenges that you do to unlock more apples? You'll be earning tons, and it's hard to spend them all unless you're buying every single sticker or every single weapon. Well, very early on there is a bit of a trap. You can easily spend more gem apples than you're earning. There are challenges that want you to use specific items. These items cost more gem apples than you get returned to you. With how easy it is to earn apples, I'm surprised the game is still running at all. There's no way that this is profitable. But if the game's servers are actually peer-to-peer, it costs them nothing to let it run. And considering that you can play this game offline if you stick to just story mode, it's possible that they're making money without having to host services for a lot of players. Now, about those challenges. You need to finish as many as you can because these dictate your level cap. For example, to hit 30, I need 100 completed. It's easy enough to do, and you probably can do them by accident, but while intentionally trying to finish them, I got level 30 unlocked while still only being level 14. As for playing online, it takes longer to fill out a lobby than it does to actually defeat a boss. I'm not joking. Most boss fights I played can be completed in under 30 seconds, and if you get someone 50 levels higher than you, then you can guarantee a win in just 5 seconds. But there's a lobby timer that's only 2 minutes long. If no one joins your game, then you'll have to remake the lobby again and wait, or play it alone. Thankfully, the game is still decently populated if you get on at the right times. You can find lobbies throughout the day. Just good luck getting anyone to play your low-level quests. But online play can be a detriment to getting 100%, as high-level players are constantly nuking bosses, meaning that you won't get much time to finish specific challenges. Like destroying bonkers' coconuts. You can play the online mode solo with AI, like story mode, but you still have to go 2 minutes without any other players connecting. And you can't just back out of the lobby once you're in, so if someone joins in, you kind of just have to play the match and waste the energy. So getting a solo lobby online is random chance. If you want to finish specific challenges online, you're going to need 3 other friends in Game Chat or Discord, or you're going to have to do local play, which makes it easier. Especially for specific challenges like landing a final hit with a specific move, you're definitely going to need to play the local mode. Many online matches end before they even start. Frequent disconnects, and if you do make it into a match, you're rolling the dice on the quality of the connection. Many lobbies have input lag where you'll continue to walk for up to a second after letting go of the stick. In some extreme cases, I've had matches play out in frame rates so low that you could count them. This made it impossible for me to finish some challenges. Early on, you go in, mash buttons for 10 seconds, and spend more time than that finding a new lobby. Later, you're begging that the 3 people queued as Hammerlord know that they need to charge their attacks. Since fights are so short, they aren't fun. And when they're long, you're bummed out because you know you're going to get a bronze medal. There just isn't a reason to play it long term, as you never get to play enough of the game for it to be satisfying. But you can't expect much from this game, as it was just a spin-off of a minigame mode from a 3DS game. I don't recommend anyone play it this late in its life, but you could do worse. It's still a fun and enjoyable game, and it's not as exploitative as the vast majority of free-to-play or mobile games. If you do like what is here, there is a ton of it. There are 45 solo quests and 126 online missions. There's a lot here, and it's easy to 100% if you don't mind the gameplay being a little dull, or it, taking a little while. There are 900 challenges, and assuming it takes you 1 minute for each challenge, you'll be playing for at least 15 hours. The biggest issue slowing you down is, of course, your energy and whether you want to spend gem apples to restore it. So it feels like this 15 hours is being artificially padded out with the energy system. If you weren't able to level up or restore energy and didn't want to spend gem apples, you'd run out of vigor in less than 20 minutes, and it could take upwards of several hours to restore your stamina. This becomes a pretty frequent occurrence, as you only get one more vigor added to your cap per level until you reach a certain level, and then you start getting 2. But at level 11, I was fighting bosses that needed 10 vigor to fight, and my cap was only 20. That meant this 1 minute boss fight could only be fought once an hour unless I spent gem apples or got a level up. Even with a double XP booster, I was just barely getting half of a level from a boss that took half of my vigor. This experience orb also counts down in real time, so that 30 minutes runs out quick with frequent loading screens, browsing equipment, waiting 2 minutes for lobbies, and having your vigor run out in 10 minutes. Then I'd also need to farm bosses to get the materials to level weapons to stand a chance, so that 15 hours is super ambitious. I wonder if it is even possible to reach 100% as a free player though. Since you can only unlock free gem apples through daily challenges and the daily bonus, and there's a limited number of challenges, I wonder if anyone has actually tried to 100 this game. But I don't think the majority of people would play this for more than a day. This game is pretty old now, and as you'll see with a lot of the Nintendo free-to-play games, it's never updated, and it's been on life support for 5 years now. It's sitting here languishing, waiting for the day a whale comes along to spend a college fund on it. It's dead, but Nintendo doesn't have the decency to put a toe tag on it. This game was definitely bumping and popular for a time, and there's lots of content like guides on YouTube for optimizing play, as well as text guides and Reddit posts, but the interest here has definitely died down after 6 years post-release. I think most have stopped playing and are waiting for a sequel. Although if a sequel were to happen, I don't think it'd be the same game. We'd see an increase in monetization and more than a single currency. I was not expecting this review to be so long, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm doing Pokemon Quest next. Bye!